back. Hey, look at this. We're about to get on the map Genesis, and I'm about to give you some tips and tricks. A lot of you guys have been having problems with this map, so I'm going to show you some things I do. Now, look, I'm using this Titan gun. Gotta admit, I don't like this gun at all. The Raw's 100 times better, but I'm going to use this gun for this gameplay just to show you guys you could play with a sucky gun and still be effective. Now, the first thing you got to do is tell 3 teammates, go to the flag. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on this flag, but watch this spin move. 90% of the time, you got some turds trying to flank you from this direction. So you got to be prepared. Look, drop a C4 sandwich and then come here. Now, I usually get a kill probably 90% of the time doing this, but for some reason, this gun, I got laid down. You see that? I was trying to shoot first, but it's part of the game. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust. Look, my teammate's getting B. I got a favorable spawn. So look, I'm going to jump on B with him, get some of that bubble, and be prepared to lay people down. Now, what I'm going to do is leave them a C4 sandwich right there. And then I'm going to come back around and I'm going to go ahead and guard C. Now, if you got a teammate sitting in this middle, like where that guy just died from and watching that, like see that guy running there, it definitely makes it easy for you and you can guard C. Once you get B, it's not hard to hold this map down. Now, if you have a team, this is probably one of the easier maps to go ahead and cap, just like Strike Zone. You know, this is a Strike Zone remake. So it's not hard to push a team where you want and keep them there. Now, watch this. Look, these guys think they're slick. Look, get laid down, double bubble, and put him to sleep. Now look, I see a teammate fighting right there. Look, he died and I'm about to retreat. And I'm gonna show you something I do when I come here. Look, I'm over here to the left. I'm not out in the open. I'm gonna tell you why. Lag compensation. Sometimes when I'm sitting in the middle, I get laid down and I have no clue how they lay me down. Once again, you got to understand the mechanics of the game. Because of lag compensation, different monitors, sometimes people will come around the corner and they'll see you a split second before you see them. And you die during that split second. So for me, I'm always trying to get an angle to give me an advantage. And also too, in this game, if you haven't noticed, if you're even slightly hit, you're going to lose that gun battle. Like, look at this. Nobody's in the room with me. I'm looking at where my teammates are and I'm pushing out. I'm going to go ahead and rotate. That's probably the #1 thing you got to do on this small map. Pay attention to your teammates. And look, I thought I was going to hit them with a C4 sandwich. Look, they keep destroying them. Now, speaking of that, you got to be ready to change your rig or your loadout. That's something I haven't even been doing. If you find that the C4 is not being effective and you got the one where you resupply and you're not getting it, how about go ahead and switch? And that's something you're going to start seeing me do more often. I just haven't thought about it. Like, you can have different loadouts. It's kind of cool. You can switch your rig. It's kind of annoying the fact that other people can do it, but you got to take advantage of it. See, what I'm doing now is I'm trying to get a good angle. I'm looking at where my teammates are, and I know they had to come from this direction, and that's why I'm able to lay the guy down. Look, I'm always watching where my teammates are. You notice they're at B. My teammates are at A. I just got to watch if they push too far up in B, then that's going to spawn them over to the left of me, and I got to be prepared to turn around and turn on them. See, I'm pushing back on this angle. Look at my teammates. They're all up towards B, and I just wanted to be able to turn real quick and look towards this hallway. Look, once they push up too far in there, I got to be conscious of the fact that they can spawn there to my left. Now, look, I got a teammate running to left. Look, he's in the gun battle. You see that? If you was watching the mini-map, he got in a gun battle, and once again, the C4 didn't work. And look at this guy here. Come on, I'm ready for you. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push forward. Once again, look, there's a guy. Where is he? Oh, somebody was shooting at me. I saw him on the mini-map. Don't know where he went. But I'm pushing up because my teammates are pushing up. And this is how you be a team player. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you want some old school camping and sit in one spot on this map, you might have a hard time. If you're with a team, yeah, you can hold this room down. But with them having specialists where they can go out of phase and run through and not even see him and come behind you, it makes it a little harder. You get a lot of people that's using that perk, or they'll switch to it because they want to get into this room and flank behind you. So you definitely got to be conscious of that. So with that being said, I'm constantly paying attention to my teammates. Look, my teammates are trying to get the C flag and they're not being successful. I'm really close to getting the warden, and this is the whole point of what I'm doing, trying to get to the warden. Now, I know my teammates are sitting there shooting, so I'm just trying to get those 25 points or those kills, because I feel like a warden on a map like this definitely can make a difference. If we have B and we're pushing them out into the open, and the warden can go ahead and lay them down. Look at that. That's 1 warden kill. That's 2 warden kills. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit back and let the warden work, and I'm guarding this door. Now, you notice I'm not completely in the open. I'm kind of sitting to the side. Every Call of Duty, people figure out some type of mechanic that gives them the advantage. Remember in Ghost, they were bunny hopping all over the place and it was throwing the aim assist off. Now people are strafing left to right, left to right. Every time you shoot people, they're going left to right, and it throws off the aim assist. So you pretty much got to adapt to that. Now look at my warden's going in. Ever since they buffed the score streaks, it's gotten a lot better. I think I've gotten 5 or 6 kills with that thing, which is fine, and I'm definitely feeling the Thor. I feel like they got some things right. And look, I'm just pushing up to A. I'm being a team player. I'm being mobile. And look at this. I'm going to be prepared in case they come this way. Look, there you go. Get laid down, son. I was ready. And like that, I'm into the highest score streaks. I'm not going to drop them. I'm going to go ahead and wait till the next round. The game is fairly close. This other team, they're trying to put in some work. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be defensive and strategic. Pay attention to what my teammates are doing. I find that's what you have to do in a lot of these maps. Now, don't get me wrong. COD Remastered, you've seen those videos. I'm camping rooms like a boss, but on this one, look, ooh, I almost got a double bubble. I'm playing it smart. I'm retreating when I have to retreat, and I'm taking them down when I have to take them down, and I'm really trying to focus on getting the right angles and catching these guys off guard. Because the mechanics of this game, and because SMGs will lay you down, it's hard. I'm playing with an LMG on what I consider an SMG map. Because they can sneak up and get up on you fast, you definitely got to be conscious of that. And so with me, I'm just trying to get the angles. Look at this. They come around that corner, lay them down. Unfortunately, this game doesn't have what I consider a night-night machine. Even the highest score streak, it's not bad. But once again, a little hit or miss for me. Look at that. One death, not bad. Not a bad first half for me. So we're going to go ahead and get into the second half. Now, once you start this, it's the same thing. I'm going to get on A. I'm going to go ahead and be conscious and turn around because 9 out of 10 times they're going to come from this direction. They're going to try to flank you. So I'm always paying attention, like I said, to my teammate that pushed up. Now, I didn't go to B. I decided to come around this way just in case they want to come around this corner. Look, I'm head glitching. They have head glitches. Why not? And there's not really a lot of good hiding spots. At least I haven't found one yet. If I find a good one, I'll let you guys know to go ahead and drop your score streak. So what I'm trying to do is get out in the open. And I got to be conscious where my body is. And I'm going to protect myself. I know where I'm at, so if they try to come, I'm going to try to pin them in. Now, look, they got B. I may not get a lot of kills because they're doing this, but what I can do is I can be the defensive MVP. I'm not going to let them get any flags, which will help us get our score higher. If I can protect A and C and keep these guys from getting it, we definitely can start to build up a nice lead. And my teammates actually could go ahead and rush in there if they want. They can go ahead and be some sacrificial pigs. While they're doing that, I should have said sacrificial lamb. Sacrificial pigs. I'm going to go ahead and protect the flag. Look what I'm doing. A to C. Now, I was boosting around really fast to go ahead and get a better angle. I didn't want to be stuck over the top of this building and not be able to get them. But look at this. I can lay these guys down. Look, where is he going to go? He's going to go to death. And so that's what I'm doing right now. See me boosting, just trying to get the right angle. Now they're all up in B. I may not get a lot of kills, but like I said, at this point, I'm team playing and laying people down. I just don't want them to get my body either. And look at this. See, my teammates got them in both doors. That's fine. If they can hold both doors and keep them locked in B, guess what? We'll win the game. And so now I'm going to go ahead and get into this highest score streak. Look at this. They're going ahead and get C. As soon as my Thor went away, they got some courage and came out. Well, here's the thing about this score streak. I didn't really like this score streak during the beta. It was pretty weak, but I find this thing to be very, very effective. I'm able to get into their spawn and lay them down. Look at this guy. Where are you going to go? You're going to die. So I'm going to get in B, and I'm going to go ahead and flush them out B so my teammates can go ahead and take B. Now, the only thing I don't like is where my body's placed. I'm going to die because I'm out in the open. There's nothing protecting me, but I can lay these people down. Now, the funny thing about this highest score streak versus, say, old CODs, the highest score streak was always something that attacked you from the sky. Helo pilot, chopper gunner, mothership. This thing is like a sentry gun on steroids, and I'm more ground level. Ooh, look at that triple. What's this guy doing? Get off the ground, son. Now, I can go in and lay people down at ground level. I don't mind. I just wish the highest score streak was something more deadly that put fear in people, because honestly, you can avoid this. When people call this out, I see it on the mini-map, I just go somewhere else. Now, at this point of the game, they pretty much got me out of my camping spot. And really, they didn't do it. I got myself out of my camping spot because I had to go ahead and drop these score streaks. So I'm a little discombobulated. So at this point, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to show you guys a few little spots throughout the map where you can kind of be effective. What I tend to do when I get pushed out is I usually go from head glitch to head glitch. And I like to lay people down. That's the beauty of this map. There's many areas you can get into and lay people down and head glitch. The only thing that sucks about this map, it's hard to do it as a solo player. Some of the head glitches, if you get out there and you try to be that solo dolo pimping of the year, you're going to get laid down from behind, and I find that that happens a lot. But like I said, it's a lot of great areas on this map, and honestly, I'm most effective using the thermal and the raw on this map. You know, at first I didn't like the thermal. I was only using it because some of the maps forced me to because of my color blindness, but it's actually been very, very effective for me, helping me pinpoint on people. Like I said, the only advice I give to you guys when you play on this map, definitely pay attention to your teammates. Be ready to be mobile, and also to make sure you have your rigs set up so that you can switch. Like I said, if the C4 sandwich isn't working with the resupply and you do better with another specialist rig, go ahead and switch to it. And that's something you're definitely going to see from me probably in my next video. I definitely want to show you guys me utilizing secondary rigs. But to be honest, sometimes when I'm using that Merc, I'm laying people down. I'm getting 5 pieces with the C4 and laying people down, but it happens. But anyway, you guys, I am out. Go ahead and make sure you drop that like. Subscribe if you're new. I am out. Let's go.